character of Surfside House is one of substance, discovery and tactility. It's substance because of the heavy, massive presence of the stonework and concrete structure. Discovery because it doesn't reveal itself all at once. You enter into the entrance hall and there's different paths throughout the house, different aspects to discover and lots of detail to explore. And tactility because the materials are made to touch and made to weather beautifully over time and really endure. Hi, I'm Richard Cole from Richard Cole Architecture. I was the lead architect on this project. I'd also like to acknowledge Carla Wilford, who was the project architect on this job. Welcome to Surfside House in Avalon Beach on the northern beaches of Sydney. Avalon can be absolute paradise. On a calm day when the water's glassy and there's a clear blue sky, it can just be an extraordinarily beautiful place, but it can also be a really wild and dangerous place. And so that's the sort of climate that you've got to design for here. The site itself is quite protected in a way from the south, and that's where most of the weather comes from, but the prevailing breezes are northeasterly. The brief was the amalgamation of two lots into one site. It was quite an open brief. It was for a relaxed beachside dwelling for their extended family, and it was to be a walk-in, walk-out house so it could cope with sand and salt and everything that goes along with beachside living. So you enter Surfside House from the street level and arrive into a double height entrance hall. It drops away to the staircase to the ground floor, or you can move through a walkway to the main living areas. The entrance hall is flanked by two massive sandstone walls with a sliver of a skylight that brings light from above and directs the view through to the western boundary and some grass trees that were existing on the site. Into the living areas, there's the dining room located centrally, and the spaces open up, and that's when you first understand the position of the site and can see through to Avalon Beach to the east and the western ridge lines of Avalon to the west. The kitchen was built as a unit within the overall open plan of the kitchen, dining and living room. It was built with a wall that separates a walk-in pantry behind it, but the wall of joinery becomes a more intimate space than the overall larger expanse of the room, and it has a long, lightweight island bench that becomes a piece of furniture within that space. The Wiesel appliances integrated with the kitchen beautifully. The Wiesel materials provided a seamless integration with those other finishes and elements. The black, slightly reflective finish of the appliances was beautiful in that you see the reflection of the beach and the ocean, so they integrated beautifully with the rest of the joinery and the kitchen as a whole. Moving from the living areas into the bridge or the enclosed veranda, the idea was that it was a lightly contained space, so it was quite transparent through the middle of the site, but it opens on both sides with those screened terrazzo blades. Moving from that space to the primary bedroom, you become more contained. So it's moving from open expanse to a more contained and private space. You move down the stairs and there's a series of bedrooms and bathrooms off that space. and you move through to the laundry and a rumpus room, which opens through to an open veranda underneath a bridge. The garden's really important to the overall design of the house. The landscape is just as important as the architecture. The way the building integrates with the garden is the stone walls extend out into the garden and create a series of terraces that drop down the site. And in that way it sort of stitches the building into the landscape. The main feature of the house is probably the stonework. The beautiful thing about the stone is that it's this consistent material where it has this wonderful variation in colour and texture. It has these little ingots of ironstone and some fossilised wood and beautiful feature patterns. It's a mass material, but it also has a beautiful level of detail to it. I'm most proud of the whole team, of everyone who worked on the project. It's quite a unique build, and the clients were dream clients, really. They were so supportive and so enthusiastic about everything. They really lifted everyone to perform at their best. Often with a job, you'll have one trade or one contractor or one element that's really difficult or not performing, but that didn't happen here. I think the level of commitment to the job really shows up in the level of detail and the quality of the construction. There's a genuine and authentic care that's manifest in the house, which is wonderful to see.